There are many types of readers and many types of books out there. Some readers prefer books that are easy to read, books to consume overnight, to get that dopamine hit, while also soon forgetting about the story and moving on to the next, over and over again. Some prefer to read slowly, even if the book is not that difficult. Some may not be very good readers, as they have been used to skimming all their lives. But there's also that kind of reader who has always found it difficult to read and finish a book because they believed they simply hadn't found the right one. But one day they come across a one-of-a-kind book. It has a beautiful cover, an interesting blurb, and they start reading it. It hooks them from the very first pages. It's clearly a different kind of book, with very good writing, and a story that, from the very beginning, promises something real, even life-changing to the reader. It's not a simple story, though, and this reader knows it. It's a complex book that offers what the reader has been looking for all their life, while also raising questions and forcing one to read between the lines. Every word carefully chosen, every phrase leading to something unexpected. This book doesn't over-explain, nor does it withhold too much, striking the right balance between what is said and what is left unsaid. The reader is thrilled and believes they are ready for such a challenging book, so they embark on reading it, investing time and energy in it every day. They are gradually pulled into its pages, diving deeper and deeper into the story, never once intimidated by it. Still, despite being intrigued, the reader doesn't want to become too emotionally involved. But when a good book finds the right reader, a unique connection forms between them, almost like a dialogue, built on a kind of trust. Because a reader is supposed to trust a book, and the good book trusts its reader too. But then something happens. The reader becomes overwhelmed. This special book doesn't simply tell them a story, but actually mirrors the reader, challenging their thoughts, their fears, and their struggles. The book becomes a threat to the reader's feelings, forcing them to face their weaknesses and overcome them so that they can become stronger and get through the story until the end. The reader realizes they are getting too distracted by this book, and that they cannot remain the same if they keep reading. They don't know where the story might lead them. The book promises a daunting transformation. So one day, just when the story is about to become even more interesting, even more exciting, they begin reading less and more slowly, opening the book just enough to catch a glimpse of the words that once left such a strong impression on them, but with no real engagement, or simply brushing their hand over the cover to keep the dust away, saying that they're a bit tired or too busy, and that they will remain on the surface for a while and come back to it later, even lying to themselves that, despite the promise of the book, it's not just about discovering the end of the story, that they prefer the reading process, and that it's not about the outcome, but about the freedom of the journey. The reader doesn't yet understand that without a destination and a steady pace, there is no journey, there is no freedom, there is only drifting. Days go by, and the reader doesn't return to the book as they once did, believing they're still not ready. Slowly the dialogue between them begins to fade. The reader could be secretly hoping that the book might magically open itself in front of them and reveal its contents, urging them to start reading again and get back into the rhythm without any effort from the reader's part. But the book remains shut on the nightstand, close enough to be lived through at the reader's whim, yet distant enough to remain harmless, until the reader eventually convinces themselves that it is, after all, just another book waiting to be read and understood. If weeks or even months pass and the reader decides one day to return to the book, they will feel that something is different, even if they start reading again from the first page. The book has not changed, but the reader is no longer the same reader who had first opened it. The reader has always feared that the end of a story would also mean the end of themselves, that there would be nothing left for them beyond the last page. The reader doesn't know that good books never end on their last page, that the best ending is only the beginning of a new story. And who knows, while this reader procrastinates, this book might become someone else's favorite, someone who will cherish it and read it every night for the rest of their life.